Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda here of Psych Defender of the Fatherland of here to 1v1 on Bayeux in the east. It is Pax Ajax fighting for the Oberkommando West for once here, fighting for the German army. Here with the 9th Panzerdivision here with Special Operations featuring radio silence, Sturmoffiziers, infiltration tactics, Sturmgewehrs, and the Command Panther. In the west it is Jimmy fighting for the British Empire, the Commonwealth, King George. Here with the 11th Armored Division with Advanced Emplacement, Tactical Support, and Royal Engineers, Volkskriegs Kuhwagen versus Triple Section. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters. Without them and the invaluable support, the Propagandacast would not be able to keep doing what it does, so big thanks to those. Other people can join the heroic ranks by Patreon, or they can donate via PayPal. Links are in the description. And if you're in the market of peoning companies free, you can do so by the link in the comment section. Use the CoH2 3G as it is written there, and I get a 15% cut of the sales. That's a great way to both get the game and support me. And I should comment, like, share, subscribe, talk about the video. So, setting out here in the north, the British forces advance here for King and Country in the south. They're also a bit busy there. Meanwhile, more northern focus here from Pax Ajax and the German army. Special operations, in theory, it could mean a more aggressive approach here because the infiltration tactics is a great ability, sadly underused. The Sturmoffizier similarly also opens up for some more aggressive tactics here, but again, just because the commando opens up more aggressive tactics doesn't mean people actually play aggressively. Anyways, Universal Care for Jimmy. That said, no immediate tactical support, could lean more towards Advanced Emplacements or Royal Engineers here from Jimmy. We'll have to see. Second Volkskriegs squad on the way there for Pax Ajax and the German army. Samex there disrupted here as the German president, of course, became a bit too nearby to finish that. Sturmpioneer trying to keep the British at bay here, trying to use the terrain here, which theoretically can open up a position that sort of catch them a bit of a spot there where they can't easily like stay distance. That said, he runs into the Vickers machine gun placement there, gets his Sturmpioneer suppressed. The Kuban's also falls back here, so neat little push there by Pax Ajax. Definitely fits into the more aggressive playstyle he might be looking to actually emulate with the rest of the commando. We'll have to see though. Points are being seized. Second Volkskriegs squad for Pax Ajax and the German army. As for Jimmy, no sign of anything further here. We do have the tech, of course, and that likely means a Vickers here for the Universal Carrier as soon as that is done. Truck on the way there for Pax Ajax after a third Volkskriegs squad. I'd like to expect mechanized, but Paxi, of course, could surprise us with mechanized regiment. Kuhwagen base versus 6 in the center, almost stopping them from finishing the sandbags, but they do. Actually, they don't finish the sandbags. Kuhwagen, though, quick get knocked out here by the British Lee Enfield rifle wielding gentleman here under Jimmy's command. Folks is flanking in behind them. Focusing down the one below, health would definitely be the priority, I think, for Pax Ajax, as getting rid of that one fast, of course, means there's just, less threats to deal with, plus they can just die faster due to the lower health, but apparently he's actually firing at the more health one there. Oh, apparently it's just a bit of bad R&D there, but we do get a Banhand gun out of there, right to the bounced up section, forcing retreat here, and burning poor Lewis alive, and Hammond too! North here, full with the section there. Kuhwagen rushing in, backed up with the Sturmpioneer and the Volkskriegs, or perhaps backing them up here. Universal push back. We do have the Vickers K there mounted on the Universal Carrier here. Back at base here, reinforcing. I would not be surprised if some medics from Jimmy to heal up his sections, as some of them, for example, this section, are incredibly low on health and would kind of be hazardous to send at the Germans. They just bleed out pointlessly in a sense there, so I think for Jimmy here, getting out a medic would be very sensible. Northern Field being struck at here. Pretty risky by Jimmy. It's low health, two-man squad, but at the same time, if Pax doesn't wreck it soon, I mean, pretty decent there. But it's definitely high risk here for Jimmy, and this could theoretically backfire on him. But fortunately, Pax doesn't really have any forces in a condition to immediately counterattack this. So this is a pretty, again, risky gambit, but it's one that paid off here for Jimmy. So thumbs up, I guess, but definitely something I wouldn't recommend anyone just, sending off the men like that. Highly risky here, highly risky, and definitely requires you have a good sense of where your opponent's troops are and what the state is, and thus, what is the ability to react to such a maneuver there. Of course, that's something that could also, very easily gone wrong there for Jimmy. South here, we've got the first being maneuvered here steadily by the section of the Carrier here, caught in a pretty bad spot that he will have to retreat them soon. Truck there, not yet sending anything for the Pax. Probably preoccupied with other matters like regaining his fuel there. SGME very swiftly and efficiently severed it. And here in the south, the Fulton squad there needs to retreat now before GME exterminates it. But there you go, big Fulton push here, backed up by Sturmpioniere. We do get the comfortable Hauptquartier truck setting up there in Pax's base, very much standard stuff here. And I think Pax is just going to like try and turn the tide by once more going for the soft spot, by going for the carve point. That way, hoping to force a response to Jimmy to move to forces towards defending that. If you had Panzerfaust here, this would be great to take out the Universal Carrier, but it does take a bit more for the Oberkommando West to get access to its Panzerfausts compared to the Wehrmacht, which just needs to build the building they get the Grenadier from. They got Panzerfausts. Oberkommando West, meanwhile, has to, you know, put in a bit of legwork for it. Battle headquarters, they're done. So that'll be the mechanized battle group support and then the field medics upgrades. Sturmofficer could be called in here. I think that'd be an excellent addition here for Pax Ajax. I would not be surprised if Pax Ajax has other priorities first. Sandbags here by the southern fuel point. Now suddenly Pax Ajax turned the tide and Jimmy here, turns the table, not so much the tide, but the table here, and Jimmy is now the one in control of the fuel point here and denying his opponent fuel. Thumbs up there to Pax Ajax. How will Jimmy respond to this turning of tables? And apparently he decides to just shoot his way through the table with an anti-tank rifle-wielding sniper. That said, Jimmy there pushed one of the sections way too far, and this time around, though, as you can see there, it didn't work out for Jimmy. Again, now so the sort of rest also involved up at the northern fuel point, like theoretically Pax Ajax could have hit on a retreat there and murdered the unit there, so do keep that in mind when you send out like low health, low strength units to grab points. It can work out, but you damn well better make sure that a retreat path for them is going to be safe, or you're going to really hurt from it. Another section there for Jimmy. Still no commander though, still no serious indication of a game plan here from him and the British Empire, the 11th Armoured here. As further here by the fuel point, Pax Ajax Fulton is being swarmed here by British sappers, moving in with their Sten guns, backed up the Universal Carrier here. A torrent of death, bullets, and British insults.
We're losing a capture point.
Flak half-track there on the way for Pax Ajax, right around the corner, the 251-17. Universal Carrier versus the Volksgrenadiers by the sun munitions point. And Jimmy here commits to advanced emplacement with defensive operations, improved fortifications, advanced and simply, hold the line, and precision barrages. Definitely not a commander I enjoy playing against. Anyways, flak coming up here. Way too many bad memories of Sim Cities in Companies 1. Sniper caught with Sturmpioniere. This would be pretty embarrassing for Jimmy were to lose a sniper this quickly. Never mind his flank emplacement. It may not get finished either. There we go. Sniper survives, but the Bofors is disrupted. 6-pounder gun here for Jimmy in response to the flak half-track here. Summon 4 for Pax Ajax and the 9th Panzerdivision. Sappers trying to sneak out on it, but it is not working out for them. And instead, the only place they're sneaking off to is hell. Universal Sturmpioniere, point-blank assault rifle versus machine gun fire here. 6-pounder gun almost done there for Jimmy. Flak half-track moving forwards for Deutschland with 4 kills to his name so far here. Sturmpioniere close to death, grabbing the carve point there. And we do get a Sturmofficer from Pax Ajax. 2 thumbs up. Sturm means storm, or well, assault in this case. So we got infiltration grenades, so of course thanks to the, well, you know, abilities here. You got the target them, force retreat, and smoke grenades. Pretty decent unit in part because it's basically a budgeted Obersoldaten squad, and once with some veterans, they actually become very good as a whole. So it's like pretty punchy unit. But there you go, good 6-pounder gun hit here on the 251-17 flak half-track, forcing Pax Ajax to pull it back. So now moving forward here, 3 kills. Again, going for the sun fuel. I mean, Pax Ajax really got some strong map control versus Jimmy, really exerting the early game advantage of the Oberkommando West, and managing to, like, you know, really disrupt Jimmy's ability to, like, you know, just do what he wants to do, which is obviously lay down a lot of emplacements and be utterly obnoxious. Sniper there with 4 kills. Fulton's almost got the sun on the fuel point. A machining gewehr here for Pax Ajax. Another unit, a soldier there, absolutely blown to bits. On the boys' anti-tank rifle. Section mounted in the center victory point, northern point being seized of the British, and further north by the Germans. Maschinengewehr 34, almost enough for Pax Ajax. Got the officer in action here. With a pair of Kar-90Ks and what appears to be a Luger. Maschinengewehr sitting out there. Kuban being fixed up by the Sturmpionier. And Jimmy here goes for a second attempt at the Bofors quick-fire 40mm anti-aircraft gun. A Swedish anti-aircraft gun for those unawares. It would also see service on the Axis side of things as well, with the Hungarians and the Romanians. And in fact, some of those would also operate a anti-aircraft tank version that mounted the Bofors. Fun fact there, by the way. But there you go, big push here, trying to stop that Bofors from going up. If he can make it work, great, but it fails. His men are going to get absolutely annihilated here because the Bofors has some insane DPS there, even against receiving units. So yeah, that was definitely not working out there. Unit wiped out there. Flak half-track down. A dashing push with Pax Ajax, but ultimately completely and utterly destroyed here by Jimmy and his newly arrived Bofors anti-aircraft gun. In the south here, second going for the southern point here. Note the Swedish didn't just produce anti-aircraft guns, they produced anti-tank guns, which also saw some service, and tanks besides the aforementioned anti-aircraft tank. They even produced an assault gun. So, little fun fact there. And here we sort of see a further development to this kind of strategy, which typically is go for Bofors, then go for mortar emplacement to back it up and set up a really, really nasty position. Definitely not something I'd recommend doing in a friendly game versus friends, because you're going to quickly find yourself running out of friends with that one, I think. Anyways, Bofors almost done. We can sort of see, again, the sort of, SimCity-ishness here of this commander. You sort of see appear from time to time. Jimmy being really fond of this, by the way. And we got the second mortar being out of there. And of course, Pax Ajax going for the only real counter he has, which is going for a bunch of light infantry guns and then blasting this into oblivion. Which of course will delay his tech, but at the same time, this needs to be dealt with as efficiently as possible, and that's going to have to be artillery. North here we got the MD-34 catching the sappers. They tried to head northwards and hit for Pax's northern field, but they are obviously not getting there anytime soon. Still, despite all the setbacks, Pax is doing great work here. Jimmy wasn't able to set up the Bofors mortar emplacement close further south, so that means it's a bit hard for him to defend the fuel point here from Pax Ajax, which means Pax can still leverage fuel control here against his opponent. Yeah, Sturmpionier caught by the Bofors, another kill there. North here, machine gewehr position, being bombarded here by the mortar emplacement, so definitely getting a bit tough here for Pax Ajax, but there you go. First light infantry gun out there with a second one on the way, and typically double light infantry guns, if you're the Orbal Commandos, will be your go-to counter to these kind of builds there. You're the Wehrmacht, obviously you don't have access to double light infantry guns. The best bet is usually try to prevent this from going up in the first place, so hit them with armor. Maybe you can try for mortars, or of course spearhead with mortar half-tracks. But the other mortar have to command and then using the incendiaries to clear that out. In fact, there's one reason why some players probably also just keep spearhead around in case they encounter this and need to burn their way through it. But either way, got the line of guns then bombarding away here. The Leichteinfanteriegeschütz Aktion. Their job will of course be to silence the AK and the mortar emplacement. Almost got the sniper there. Really close call here for Jimmy and his sniper. Going for the southern fuel point again. More fire there, going back and forth. Mortar fire there on the light infantry guns. Smoke being deployed here. Makes you wonder what he's scheming there. He's going to smoke directly. Interesting. Oh, in this case, it might actually be rushing the Kuban to take out the sniper while the other supporting elements can't deal with it. That's a pretty savvy move there by Pax. Thumbs up. That was cool. That was a nice setup. There you go. And the south mine goes off, killing several Sturmpionier. And all of a sudden here, that's quite painful there for Pax Ajax. Great man for Jimmy. Thumbs up. Further up north here, jet machine gun pushing back the section there. Line of guns back to bombarding here. Jimmy's positions by the center victory point. The line of guns being moved forwards again. He's obviously trying to stay clear here of counter barrage fire from the mortar emplacements. Only being held back for some healing. Got the Morton playing down to roughly a third health. That's definitely not bad there for Pax. Of course, in the near future, Pax will definitely want to consider taking up here versus Jimmy. Jimmy, meanwhile, has already gone that far ahead and is actually pushing for the Cromwell. So he's actually, despite good map control by Pax Ajax, been able to turn the game around partly due to the emplacement, the lost inflict on Pax Ajax, but also the very simple fact that British just have the simplest and most efficient tech structure ever. They got, like, 2 structures besides the headquarters, and they can just be built by just pressing a button. It's, it's really efficient. Never mind, it's also fairly cheap. So against the Brits, like, even if you hit them hard, they can technically still hit you with a tank fairly fast if you're not careful. So that's something you always need to keep in mind against the British. Like, even if you manage to deny them a fair amount of fuel, they can still hit you with a tank at a reasonable pace. So Cromwell almost done for Jimmy. We do get the try for Pax Ajax, but he will need cannon efforts now to survive against the Cromwell here. Now, got grenades on the retreating troops here. Nice hit timing, though. Not quite there in favor of Pax Ajax, but I definitely like the attempt there. It is definitely a good way to get units on retreat there, or just units in general, if you time it correctly. Now, the benefit here for the OKW version is it's really cheap. It's 20 munitions. The only downside is it has a significant cooldown, but again, it's cheap and can really get some hits in. Cromwell racing 40 for the British Empire. Authors in action. Ground Northern Point. Sphere up 100 quarters, 1/3 of the way done. Almost got the southern field point there. And racing in into Pax's base. The Academy is on the way. Sphere up 100 quarters almost done here for Pax. But meanwhile, though, Jimmy here looks set to wipe some units inside of the German base. Mortar emplacement has been silenced, leaving just the buffers here. Of course, getting rid of the buffers. That, of course, means Jimmy's control of the center is a lot weaker. And it also means the light infantry guns can start shooting at other things, which is certainly bad news for the rest of Jimmy's infantry. But another defensive for the southern field point here as Jimmy launches another assault here for the British Empire. If the time off cooldown was done, he could actually pop the grenade assault right into the advance, but I understand him for just shooting there. That makes more sense, honestly. 6-pounder gun number 2 for Jimmy, obviously starting to concern himself about the potential of German armor. The question, of course, is what kind of armor will Pax go for? Panther, specifically the Command Panther, will it be the Panther 4 Model J? Meanwhile, buffers there being worn down by the light infantry gun fire. Which is why that ultimately you don't see this strategy too often, in particular not versus the Obot commandos, because again, it just requires you holding in 2 light infantry guns and you can steadily blast it into, dust. That was a hit there on the Sturm Pioneer, almost wiping out the entire squad. Kevin shoots and misses though. Got the opposite base with the section in the south. Far up north, they're making a bit of progress there. Now we got hold line here from Jimmy. Trying to get the Cromwell, but actually lose the Kenman to the buffers in the process. No! By sheer luck, the land gun's cleared up before it happens. Hold the line there. It's going to soon unleash hell there in the units at the front line. Particularly the light infantry guns would be considered within terrain or territory of Jimmy's air support. I think he's starting to realise something up before the RAF comes flying in. Another section there for Jimmy. No officer for him. And heading for that northern field point. So yeah, in this case, the perimeter watch doesn't get too much usage, but at the same time, it also ensures that Pax won't be pushing against Jimmy right away anytime soon, because again, he's going to suffer from the RF. So it does give Jimmy a fair amount of breathing space, and at 150 munitions, that's like, pretty fairly decently costed. Back at base for Jimmy, could soon go for another Cromwell, could go for center. He could, of course, even be considering like hammer tactics or anvils and something a bit bigger than a Cromwell. As for Pax, Schwerer Panzer Quarters up and authorized. Got the command points. I'd very much anticipate here Pax going for the Command Panther. Typically tends to be one of the primary reasons you go for the Commander in the first place. Come up to the section here. Going straight for that southern fuel point. Bit risky though, again, low in health already, low in numbers. Definitely caused some issue. I think actually at this point he should probably just consider popping a smoke grenade and then retreating. Maybe using force retreat, but I think if 6 round with that Sturm Officer for much longer, that's going to be a wipe. And there you go. Didn't pop the smoke though. That could cost him the Sturm Officer here to Jimmy's forces if he's unlucky, but this time no smile. A fortune smiles upon Pax just a bit. Almost got a wipe here in the turn on Jimmy. Very good there. But now we got the promising forwards. Sturm Pioneer nearby. Shoots, hits. And there go Grenade Assault here looking to rip through Jimmy's infantry, but not quite landing the hits there. Could perhaps see another wipe there on Jimmy. That'd be quite painful for him in the British Empire if he loses another section there. Cromwell there being still pursued by the Sturm Pioneer. Very close to the east of there. Goes going to go for a wipe here. And there you go. That's a second wipe. He tried with a smoke. A massive plume, but ultimately does nothing more than mark the death of another Englishman in service of the Empire. As Jimmy now goes on the hunt with this Cromwell instead. Another section there for Jimmy. Pax going for the Panther all day. I mean, not a bad choice either. But I'm definitely surprised he didn't go for the Command Panther, since I think in most situations a Spec Ops player would definitely go for the Command Panther as the first tank if they had resources. And he was like pretty close, so I suppose one option is he just doesn't want to stir up too much manpower either, and disregard the Panther 4 Model J certainly is cheaper manpower by a fair degree compared to Command Panthers. He doesn't have to like put his entire economy in hold for too long. Either way though, Sturm Officer is veteran free. Panther 4 Model D almost down there for Pax. Section called out in the open here by the Sturm Officer, quickly routed. Half later, veteran 4. Of course, veteran 5, we get a Sturmgewehr. And a real boost to the squad there. At which point, the Sturm Officer becomes like incredibly good. Line to go on the Ekbar seized by Jimmy and being hauled off there. Nice haul there by the British Empire. Will of course eventually end up on the British Museum. Another Cromwell there for Jimmy.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Heading further south, that's Sturm Pioneer the east level. Straight for the car point. Down Northern Point. And forming back and the Penal machine gun. Cromwell 2/3 of the way down there. Pax Ajax Panzerkampfwagen, they're heading southwards to intercept the British by the side of the victory point. I mean, Pax still enjoys a strong victory point either with Jimmy. Jimmy definitely still has some issues there. Despite some others strong successes, he hasn't quite been able to turn into like an actual victory point, parity, or even lead. Second Cromwell, they're almost done for Jimmy. That's going to make things tougher for Pax Ajax. If Jimmy then, of course, can use his tanks effectively. The question becomes, what will Pax Ajax follow up with then? Will it be another Panther 4? Will it be the Command Panther this time around? Now he's going to hit by multiple Cromwells up north. Their second one moving forward. Seafolks are about to get wiped out here. I think they're close to wiping out a section in turn. But yeah, in the end, we'll have to fall back here in the face of Jimmy's Cromwell tank. And there you go. Wipes the section, but loses the Flutkin squad. I mean, he's also lost more units there. But both sides are definitely taking some heavy losses. But I definitely think Jimmy is the one bleeding hard in just terms of pure sections overall there. Sturm Officer there, veteran D4, even just veteran D5 to go. Southern Point there being once more under neutral. I mean, Pax is doing a fairly decent job denying Jimmy fuel. It's just, you know, he's up against the Brits, so that's overall a little less effective. From rushing south, it's his opponent's men from there, and we can see the Sturm Pioneer moving towards the victory point, but they're not going to be able to hold this point for long. Not with that much British scrutiny being deployed against them. Very close to the Command Panther for Pax Ajax up north there. Panther 4 pushing back troops there. Smoke being deployed around the centre. Not entirely sure from whom. Guessing though, yeah, it's Jimmy there with his line gun brief. We've got 8 hectic managers to grab. Like, you know, well, It's gotta be the Germans. Then remember, there's like, oh right, it could be, you know, Jimmy. Oh, we got the Command Panther of Pax Ajax and the German army. The Befehlspanzerkampfwagen 5. Southern points being seized. Trenches being dug here by Jimmy as well. Cromwell racing towards the centre here, engaging the machine gun crew there. In the south here, Command Panther dashing ahead for Deutschland. Pin my machine halfway done here for Pax Ajax and Deutschland. Further north there, Sturmoffizier there, grabbing the northern munitions point away from the British. But we'll give him follow up with the next. More Cromwells, Fireflies, Churchill's Comets. I mean, Jimmy definitely has a lot of opportunities to explore here versus Pax Ajax. But there you go, Sturmoffizier routed. Of course, unable to really resist the armoured assault here of Jimmy's Crom in the centre there, though. Panther versus the Cromwell there. We got even the coordinated fire ability there, further increasing the damage inflicted on the Cromwell. Almost taking that in the process. Got sappers on the way there for Jimmy. Centre there, got 14 inch, and then you've had 4 Panther strikes as well here. Supported a bit by the Command Panther. Initially not the biggest bonus, but as the Command Panther gains more experience, the bonus it provides to nearby units, particular vehicles, becomes much better. Section routed. We got 145 versus 137. Jimmy needs to do something soon about the map control here from Pax Ajax, or he could very well end up losing this pretty rapidly. We got their Pax Ajax counterattack up north. Cromwell there bouncing a shot, but still takes damage here. Smoke deployed to go up the retreat here. Thumbs up to Jimmy. These are his hectic time. Panther shoots, misses, going from northern point. Southern point reclaimed. There you go. Hold the line once more being enacted by Jimmy. Got the northern point here. Not entirely sure about the timing on this one, but there you go. Sturmpionier officer caught. There we go. As you can see, they take some insane damage from that one. Almost wiped out both squads. They've been quite painful there. 4 packs had they been wiped. Well, it is an ability I think that requires a bit of foresight. As you can see there, under the right circumstances, it can really raise hell on your opponents. Crom racing southwards here against the section of Fulton squad here. Looking to... wow, crush the entire squad beneath its treads. Absolute brutality. Another wipe, leading packs with just the Sturmoffizier and the Sturmpionier. No other infantry. This could be a crucial moment here for Jimmy, then they really exploit versus Pax Ajax. As now Pax has next to infantry. Still has 3 squads and Jimmy's on, well, 2 and Jimmy's got 3, but still, that can still be a significant difference. Particularly if Jimmy adds more infantry. Section right from the centre. Command Panther wants to move here for Pax Ajax and the German army. The Befehlspanzerkampfwagen 5 going in fairly aggressively, perhaps hoping to destroy something of Jimmy's here. In this case, apparently the trench. Still, Jimmy continues to bleed here versus Pax Ajax. Definitely think Jimmy needs to do something about this very rapidly against smoke, but also just dispatching forces at the other points. Telephone the line gun, we got 100 points left now. Machine gun there being steadily bombarded here by Jimmy's light tank Schutz. Up north here, Crom engaging German troops by passing the Sturm to the first rattle of Kedner, at which point the rest of the infantry can be dealt with. Good priorities there by Jimmy. Does mean he should be able to move troops safely towards the northern victory point and perhaps even start to threaten Pax Ajax field point in the north. Opposite in here for Pax Ajax, thumbs up. He's also got like an insane amount of munitions, you just realised. He could be laying down mines, could have laid down mines in some quantity earlier. Guessing a light machine gun, though inflict Sturmgewehr will be a good addition, and of course, booby traps. Got the southern point there, go dispatch, got the centre one. At least he's now the one bleeding out Pax Ajax for once, and it's no longer Jimmy, at least for now, not being bled out. There's definitely quite a gap here. And Jimmy will need to do a lot of bleeding on Pax Ajax to win this. A lot. Panther again thinking Cromwell. Great shot through the hedges. Does cause Jimmy to backpedal with the tank a bit here. No some additional armor here. Is it hammer, anvil? Is it something else here from Jimmy? I mean, he's got the resources now for something, but so far remains hesitant to commit to it. Got spoken in port. He opens on force back though. So on the bank being seized as well. More shots being released here. Panther 4 dashing ahead of Deutschland. Sensing an opportunity, sensing weakness. He sends in the Panther 4 on a pretty risky mission. But there you go. Command Panther exploiting the Panther 4's dash here. And the attention grab. That's it. Right here, though, Pax, I think, overcommits. But the Panther right into 2 anti-tank guns. Could have a good chance of losing here. Shot bounced. Misses the Cromwell. Panther 4 doesn't get the Cromwell and loses the Command Panther and the Panther 4. Wow, and all in with his tanks, which completely backfired on Pax. God in Himmel, that was quite painful there for Pax. That was a huge blow there. I mean, that was just a Command Panther and a Panther 4. And crucially, he's got no real infantry left. So with this, Jimmy suddenly holds a lot of cards because he's got 2 tanks with a 3rd on the way. He's got plenty of infantry and support weapons. And Pax just doesn't. That was quite disastrous for Pax Ajax. And the lack of infantry support for this attack, I think, was definitely very critical there. But also the way he then proceeds to split up his tanks, and a Panther against that many guns just isn't going to cut it. So that was a hell of a development there for Jimmy, and the one that I think really just swings the game in his favour and makes it very difficult, at least for the foreseeable future, for Jimmy to really lose this match, short of like a brilliant counter move by Pax Ajax or a similarly very unbrilliant move by Jimmy.
Cromwell gun tank ready for action.
3rd Cromwell ready here for Jimmy, Cromwelling up here, low in health, there we go, loses one of his Cromwells immediately. That's definitely the sort of thing that can help close the gap between Pax Ajax and Jimmy if Jimmy just proceeds to like kind of toss away a tank like that instead of pulling it back for repairs. That was a bit of a oversight. They've also got line gun cleared out. Could be taken back here by Pax, at least destroyed. Still, though, not to take Jimmy lightly. He still has 2 Cromwells left to go, including one that is near the east level. So it's certainly not like, you know, Jimmy is out of the fight just because he lost 1 Cromwell. But there you go. Second Command Panther here for Pax Ajax. We'll have to see if this one does a bit better. The Kennel wiped out. Now, there's a problem there for Pax Ajax and a sea, well, of troubles already, honestly. Sturmofficer there, veteran 5 in the trench. 16 kills for Deutschland. Section there being absolutely repelled here by the ace Sturmofficer squad there. Almost got a wipe there, in fact. Really showing the opponent who needs to retreat now before that unit gets wiped. Command Panther going for the Northern Cromwell here, engaging with its high velocity 7mm gun, the Kampfwagenkanone 42. From then getting the Panther. Panther shoots back. Betcha 3 then the Cromwell. Damaged engine the Panther. 48 points left here. Jimmy is hanging by a thread here versus Pax Ajax. Whereas Pax Ajax still has a hell of a victory point. And certainly for now at least, Pax Ajax just focusing on the victory point. Win here against Jimmy makes a lot of sense considering like the state of the rest of his forces. Got the Orbison setting out. There's still plenty of munitions here for Pax. Panther there being fixed up. Pax finally below 400 victory points versus Jimmy with its 44. Sturmofficer backed up. The Orbison then is definitely a fearsome infantry force here. And there you go, hold the line again, but this time doesn't quite cover as much because his map control is definitely much more splintered right now versus Pax Ajax. Not going to be quite nearly as effective as he'd hoped. There you go, Cromwell aids rushing southwards there. And the Panther's rushing further south as well. His Sturmofficer takes a bit of loss there. That is the Sturmofficer himself who expires. See, Sappers versus the Sturmofficer in the Oberstdorf. Panther south is there. Cromwell aids versus the Panther. Panther misses. Cromwell does not go grenade assault. Almost wiping out an entire Sapper section there. But Fortune smiles upon. No, doesn't smile. You do see the Sal go down. The Cromwell just keeps landing penetrating hits on the Panther, which just isn't doing nearly as much damage. The Panther is heavily damaged. And the Cromwell's like half health. That was definitely a pretty bad engagement there for Pax Ajax Panther. And the Command Panther on that. Great development there for Jimmy. Certainly another head again for Pax Ajax, but crucially, at least he didn't lose another Command Panther in a bit of a silly way. But he's still got a long way to go, and of course Jimmy could still add more stuff in. Still no sign of any further upgrades. No hammer, no anvil. Second Orbital Alert squad almost enough for Pax Ajax and Deutschland, who is still, by the way, floating an intense amount of munitions and still think at times could benefit for some mines or some booby traps. I mean, that could help, slow down some of Jimmy's advances and counterattacks. Second Orbital got ready, adding infrared Sturmgewehrs this round, no counters for the machine gewehr. Further south here we got the machine being outflanked here by Jimmy's section. Panther in dire repairs. Wouldn't necessarily, I think, be an entirely bad idea for Pax Ajax to maybe consider another Sturm Pioneer squad just to assist with the Command Panther repairs. For that matter, another tank, smoke on the center, thumbs up. Big push here by Pax Ajax with his elite infantry, but there you go, Cromwell Ace at the ready. 3 points left here for Pax Ajax now. Jimmy is starting to get that bleeding going against his opponent. Up north, Crom racing in and catching the Sturmoffizier out in the open. Shots being unloaded at a pretty violent pace. And is he going to try and grab the line for gun now? That's definitely questionable. Or maybe she's spotting for the Command Panther. Ripping through the sappers. There you go. Almost wiping out one sapper section again. Anti-tanking over the damage on the end. On the Panther, damaging the engine. But there you go. Sappers are just being absolutely mauled here. But the Sturmoffizier, 29 kills. As noted again, the Sturmoffizier at Veteran 5 is an absolute beast. But there you go, got white pushed too far, and that's actually quite a costly loss for Pax Ajax, because that's not something you can easily replace at this stage. And really will hurt his ability to just maul Jim's infantry when he really needs to be doing that. Command Panther being pushed back, Sturm Pioneer routed. Jimmy maintains excellent map control versus Pax Ajax, and is buffing every attempt by Pax to really get back into this fight quite efficiently. Still no sign of upgrades there. Even weapon racks of grenades. So definitely a very tough spot to be in for Pax Ajax versus Jimmy. I think he may want to reevaluate his tactics here versus Pax and look for another angle to attack his opponent with, if possible, which of course is easier said than done. I won't deny that. 6 guns here in the Command Panther though, almost knocking out here with the 2 anti-tank guns, including the Ace level 6-pounder gun here. Command Panther once more in dire need of repairs. Another Sturmoffizier out here though for Pax Ajax, thumbs up. Still a quite good unit obviously, but losing that Ace one really hurts Pax Ajax. Panther landing a nice shot there, but is still in intense need of repairs. Like, one lucky shot from the 6-pounder gun there, and from the 6-pounder gun at the Ace level, it's probably just going to be a shot there, not much luck involved, and that Panther's going to go up in flames. You can also see that Pax Ajax down to tunnel vision heavily on the center there. Not so much action on the sides of the map here. Which also makes it easier for Jimmy to shut him down. And there you go. Hold the line again and turn. At this point, it's a lot more dangerous for Pax Ajax. Really, Jimmy is just slowly squeezing the living stuffing out of Pax Ajax here on the battlefield. Making things very tough. Here, for some reason, the repairs didn't go off here. I hate when that happens. So that's basically delay at the Command Panther repairs, which of course is great for the British, but pretty rubbish for Pax Ajax because he needs that Command Panther back in action as swiftly as possible. Definitely doesn't need his switch repairs to get, like, delayed. Troops sitting out from the base again. I mean, a tank here for Pax Ajax would be helpful versus Jimmy. Panther 4 could be a pretty good choice. Of course, I'll just go for another Panther. As for Jimmy, we do have armor tactics. We also got bolted sections. Thumbs up to that. Trenches there being dug in. Help further resist an assault from Pax Ajax. Very sensible. Panther is 2/3 of the way done here, but there's still more time to go for it fully repaired. Cromwell flying away. They're all of a sudden pushing forward. Good shot from the Panther there on the Cromwell. Further south here, fighting for the southern point. There is not going Pax's way at all with a dug in trench there. Section holding off Pax's men quite efficiently. Pax is definitely starting to feel the heat here. As he's trying to find like any weakness here by Jimmy, but is not quite finding it. All of a sudden they're about to get wiped out. Ace Cromwell there. Hey, that's gonna... Ooh, another RP in Pax Ajax. The situation here for the German player is really rapidly going pear-shaped here. He's just starting to take some very difficult to replace losses. He can go for a Panther 4 Molgena and does do so. Definitely the right choice. Theoretically could have gone for a Panther, but I don't think he needs like 2 of them right now. He needs something to help murder the infantry more efficiently and actively. Northish Stumpini routed, Orbison routed. Sapper sent packing as well here. 6 kills, virtually 2 on the Panther. Shots and added. Tough situation for Pax Ajax and the German army. Gimme at this point appears to be holding most of the cards. Victory points wise, so he's still behind, but he's got like, you know, most of the tanks. He's got an Ace Cromwell, he's got a good amount of infantry, he's got sappers aplenty, and he might soon be going for a comet tank here as well if he even needs it. Definitely a tough spot to be in for Pax Ajax right now. Odds are not in his favor. I mean, losing that Command Panther and Panther 4 like he did earlier really just was an incredibly costly loss there for Pax Ajax. Really costly. That was just a horrific engagement. And one which, as the overall command rest, isn't easy to bounce back from because of the overall just more expensive nature of the tanks. It's not like you say just plug the gap with Sturmgeschütze. It's kind of like, you know, in a bit of a bad spot if he loses that much armor that quickly. Maschinengewehr there, though, very close to the ace level, but at the same time, Jimmy knows where it is, so you just shoot through the smoke there. It doesn't do too much there. Almost losing the near ace machine crew there. It'd be quite painful. There we go. Panther engages, but misses. Cromwell misses though also as well. Further up north here, push to the northern point. We've got a dug in, or soon to be dug in section there. Blend cover, I think, with the best throw here. Unless, of course, Jimmy never gets to the trench. And Panther 4 knocked out. Cromwell backed up, but the anti-tank guns remains an absolute beast of a problem here for Pax Ajax. North here, the opposite does push back. The second, we've got a Cromwell rushing in to stamp them out and send them packing back home to Berlin. Almost getting a wipe there. In which case, they'll, of course, be sent packing home to Berlin in pine boxes. Down to 1 man. And I'll wipe another humongous blow to Pax Ajax. And the German army in the 9th Panzer Division at this point is an absolutely ragged state here. What infantry and armor is left is being worked to the bone. And even then, it is just not enough here. Pax Ajax is racing after the Cromwell of the Panther, hoping to at least get one of Jimmy's tanks. But Jimmy's tanks once more proved to be quite difficult to get rid of. There you go, Ace Cromwell the Panther. There you go, popping the hunt ability there. Panther there is close to virtually free here. Mark the Cromwell there for death as well, increasing the damage taken. Also accuracy against it, but anyways, Panther needs to get out of there. Really bad situation for Pax Ajax. Kind of starting to look like GG here for the German player. His options are very limited here versus Jimmy. Very limited. And part of this is just these Cromwells are doing an absolutely horrendously efficient job of just shutting down Pax Ajax maneuvers. More orbs on here for Pax Ajax. Grandmith's on the trench point again. Sturm Pioneer once more need to fix up the Command Panther. Shouldn't give being caught up at the section. That needs to be in the retreat here. Oh, he's going to pop a Gammon Bomb and I think wipe it. Yep, Gammon Bomb. It's going to cause Pax Ajax his Maschinengewehr and pop goes the Weasel. Machine Gun and Hard Experience crew, they're both gone in a single blast. Really leaving Pax Ajax now incredibly bad off. He's going for another Cromwell. No point in bowling with comets. Can't fault him for that under the current circumstances. Pax got his orbs done out. There you go. Bit of fear propaganda here to try and push them back, but they actually pop into the trench where they cannot be forced to retreat it. Devious play there by Jimmy. Good lord, I'm suddenly feeling terrified. Just jump into this hole. It's a good old British remedy for fear. Anyways, Panther going straight here for the Cromwell. He wants at least to knock out a tank. His shots miraculously bouncing off of the anti-tank guns for ones. Even the ace ones there, actually. Still not looking great here for Pax. We got 51 versus 44. Shoots, misses.
50 points left.
50.
Our capture point.
He's crawling around the scene there. Panther once more taking penetrating hits down to a tiny sliver of health there. Counter-strike teaming up. After he's near, they go. The Command Panther goes up in flames. A huge blow here to Pax Ajax. A stunning victory for Jimmy in the end here. Sturm Pune about to get wiped out here. And I think it is decidedly GG here for poor Pax Ajax versus Jimmy. Crushed by a lot of British tanks. And a few tactical mistakes. So there you go. GG, game over. Hope you enjoyed this match. I'll learn something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. And consider supporting Propagandacast by pledging on Patreon or donating, or again, pre-ordering Companies 3. This is Imperial Links by the link in the comments to this. But anyways, thank you all for joining in, and see you all tomorrow for a nice episode. Bye.